All right, sis, I know we just said what's the scoops, but we're actually going to start off with a story that should be in shakas and shoutouts.
Oh, okay, cool. I like that.
And it's because some major props need to be shared with some, to me, some major heroes. For a number of agencies were involved in a child recovery operation conducted over the past weekend.
Child recovery? Okay, what's the scoops?
All right, Hawaii state agencies alongside local and federal partners conducted Operation Shine the Light, and it was aimed at locating endangered missing children and youth and provide them with essential services and then prevent exploitation.
You know, as a result, 10 children aged 13 to 18 were safely recovered. Several arrests were made and investigations continue. Now, here's a staggering fact with this. 1 in 7 of the more than 29,000 cases of children reported missing to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children were likely victims of child sex trafficking.
Wow.
Doesn't that just make your na'au feel just, ugh?
Yeah, what do you say, 1 in 7? And they recovered 10.
1 in 7, and they recovered 10.
You know, it does make my na'au go. And we've had a number of guests on the show talking about child sex trafficking or human trafficking. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that kind of like set me back was when he said, if the kids who are abducted make their way to Hawaii, they're pretty much
gone.
Missing.
Right.
Gone.
Because there's just so many avenues that they can get them off the islands into places that are even international.
Yeah, so just really, really want to thank, you know, and sometimes those operations can be very dangerous.
Oh, very.
So mahalo.
Yeah, for everybody involved.
Yeah.
For the adults, because, you know, the people that are backing this kind of exploitation, they've got power of guns, drugs, money behind them, right?
By the way, as a community, this is how we can help. You can help combat child abuse and neglect and even child trafficking by contacting the Hawaii Department of Human Services hotline. You can find those numbers at kitv.com/links. We put the page right there so it's convenient.
Yes. We are now in week 4 of the partial government shutdown. And if it continues, millions of Americans could lose access to food assistance next month.
Oh, sis, this is another one that's making my na'au go, what's the scoops?
All right. Well, more than 160,000 people in Hawaii depend on SNAP, that Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. But funding is expected to run out by November, and that could delay or interrupt payments to people who receive these needed benefits.
And then there's also the Women, Infants, and Children program. We know it, we know it as WIC, which helps pregnant women and children. That's also at risk. Now, advocates say that local health departments, pediatricians, and food banks are stepping in. But as we know, because we had the Lahaina wildfire, we had COVID-19, we have a very, very, you know, kind of like a slower economy because of the downturn in tourism. So the food banks, which a lot of people depend on to get, you know, their food supply for the month, is already stretched extremely thin. So you're going to compound that with the possibility of, and I don't think they can stop the payments, but it may delay the payments.
Either delay or definitely deduct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be much smaller than what you are expecting to get. Yeah. And you know, these incredible services that are stepping in, you know, the food banks, Hawaii Harvest on the different islands, they have finite resources, you know? They get what they get, and then they're able to distribute that. But if they don't get, how are they going to help?
Exactly.
Right? So, yeah, this is a little bit tough for us to, Now, you know, later in the show, we are going to talk story with Brickwood Galuteria. And he's going to be talking a little bit about the shutdown and how it's affecting our kupuna here in Hawaii. Of course, you know, Brickwood is with Kupuna Power, and that's today's Kupuna Power. It's coming up in about 40 minutes.
All right, you know, sis, I teased it at the top of the show. And if you are a fan of boba tea or bubble tea, it could cause you some health issues.
Oh man, I know a few people. What's the scoop?
Yeah, like my wife and myself.
I never like saying.
Yeah. Well, a new Consumer Reports investigation found that some bubble tea sold in the U.S. and here in Hawaii contains concerning levels of lead.
What?
Particularly in the tapioca pearls or the boba, you know, the boba pearls, and even sometimes in the liquid itself.
You know, brother, when you were on vacation and I had Maleko with me, we did a story about protein shakes that have high concentrations of lead.
Oh my gosh.
And there's like 29 different shakes. And these are like big name shakes that have the lead. And now we're starting to see it in the drinks that we enjoy.
So
you know?
you're talking about the protein shakes, and this is why I only like to drink chocolate shakes. or strawberry shakes, or vanilla
or
shakes.
boba tea,
Yeah.
right? And now get lead there too. It's following you, Davey.
I know, and I think the study said that it's in the cassava. They make the pearls out of the cassava, that
Yep.
root, and of course that I don't know if it
Might be in the
leaches is the word, but that from the soil
ground.
goes into the cassava, and of course you don't want to be having prolonged exposure to lead, right?
Right. In fact, that was one of the things we talked about in that story with the protein shakes, and now with the bubble tea, that protein lead exposure can cause learning disabilities, neurological issues, other serious health problems, both in children and adults.
All right, so the best thing to do, and this is advice from
Drink
experts.
water. Oh, sorry.
Yes, drink water, but not from plastic bottles because you can get the microplastics. And not from the water hose because it might have the lizard inside. So enjoy bubble tea only occasionally to help reduce the lead absorption. 4 brands they tested, by the way. The top one was from Trader Joe's.
You brought back a very painful memory of drinking from the water hose.
With the lizard.
The lizard went right into my mouth. I tell you.
I'm going to be honest with you, that's better than lead. All right, so what's the scoops with you? What do you think about all these things we just talked about? Props out to all the people that participated in Operation Shine the Light. What about SNAP benefits? Are you concerned? And boba tea, I'm very concerned.
Well, let us know by sending an email at islandlifelive@kitv.com or post a comment directly to this video on our YouTube page. All you got to do is just search out KITV.